So I've been talking about, the website and the special orders, the whole loaves of soap, thing a whole lot, more than usual probably during this week. And I don't mean to, first and foremost. It's just kind of these are all just a snapshot, like I'm talking to you. It's a day in the life. It's a moment in my life, so you have a read on what's going on with me and my family and my life and my soap world and everything before we do the making of the soap. And that's obviously something that's going on right now a lot because it's the holiday season and all the sales really uptick for the whole loaves because people like to stock up during a big sale. Anyway, I've been getting a lot of questions about whether or not I think that's a profitable move, and that's something that people should do within their soapy journey. And so that's what we are going to talk about today. And I will tell you more about all of that in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things. And you're here for day 7. Yeah, yeah, of 31 Days of Soapmas. And today we are going to be talking about whether or not it's a good idea for you to do bulk pricing or discounted pricing on your website, under what circumstances it is a good idea versus not, and also maybe touch a little bit on wholesale because I have gotten a lot of questions about that all of the time. And we will be doing that while we make yet another beautiful soap from a bulk soap loaf order. And this particular soap is the one that we saw earlier in the week, the Lavender Honey, but I am pouring it different and I'm managing to cut it from the top down this time because I told you last time that I was gonna do that, but then I sculpted the top, so I just cut it regular. Anyway, all of those things are gonna happen, so let's get to the soap pouring and we will do that. Okay, Lavender Honey Part 2. I'm super excited because we are going to, I think, pour it different, but certainly cut it different. Very, very excited about that. This is one of many, many bulk soap orders that came in during, the big sale for Small Business Saturday and everything. And just kind of generally, I get a ton of these bulk soaps. So essentially what this is on my website is it's a 12 bar batch of soap that you order, and you don't have to do exactly I've talked about this before. You don't have to do the exact listing or whatever. A lot of people like to put it in the comments that they want something different in the order notes, and I make it to suit, and then it sits with me for 2 weeks, and then I ship it out with, little reminder cards and everything like, hey, remember, this is fine and totally safe to use, but for better quality, just let it sit. Longer it sits in open air. Instructions, essentially. Now, the reason why we are doing this and talking about all of that today is because I've been getting a lot of questions from the Sudsers that have businesses as to how I figured out how to manage this. So custom soaps, essentially on demand, and whether or not it's been beneficial for my business. And I mean, obviously, first and foremost, I am going to say that it's beneficial for my business because you're watching me do it right now. So I have not decided that this is a bad thing that should be removed from my website. Like, this is a bad idea. If you think that anything on your website's a bad idea, by the way, or any products, you should remove them and stop being just beholden to something you don't like. But I am not beholden to something I don't like because I love this. Now, for big batch soap, I had a bit of an issue with this with starting this because I do wholesale. I've been doing wholesale for almost as early as the business began. I would say maybe about a year into the business being a thing, I started wholesale accounts, and they've all come to me very organically. I don't do any sort of sourcing for that, although it's very easy to do. If you're at all interested, you can talk to Mr. Webman about it, and he can put together a list of people that like an email, talk to Mr. Webman. But I don't do any of that. Everybody has come to me. It's been through word of mouth or through just seeing my products, and they have a business as well. And everything is developed organically. And I jury all of my wholesale accounts. This is not about wholesale. Point is, I obviously did not want to be offering prices or soaps at a price that my wholesale accounts are getting their soaps. Because otherwise, what's the benefit of them getting, their wholesale soaps, right? And so, but at the same time, I still wanted to be able to give my preferred sudsers, all the people that shop on the website, really good deals. And that became especially important as the business started growing to really much bigger levels. And then inflation and everything started happening. And I finally accepted the advice of my marketing people and said, okay, fine, we're going to raise our prices. I didn't want to raise the prices on the OG sudsers, the preferred sudsers that have been with me since the beginning of the business, that in all actuality are the reason why the business continued to grow and thrive and succeed. And so I kind of came up with this solution, which also, going back to the OG sudsers, as I was making limited edition batches of something that I had planned on never making again, or I would discontinue products that they really loved. I wanted to give them essentially all of the options in the world for me to do whatever it is that they wanted, because I really am very weird when it comes to the preferred sudsers and, like the people that buy on the website. I want to make all their dreams come true, essentially. And so this was born as a way to kind of fix all of that and keep the prices low for my preferred sudsers, but also give them custom, soaps, and really a really cool sense of, well, I guess personalization, because every single soap is obviously made to order, but it is, or made, and it's all individual, it's all made by hand. But this particular soap, when it was in my line, I was making these in big bulk, right? So, 300, 500, 700 bars at a time. And with this one, no, it's just one bar for you, for this person that ordered this soap on this day. And so it's kind of fun, and I kept the prices at such a place where they're getting effectively the price that they got before I had to increase my prices. And so with this, the biggest problem was obviously going to be, how do I manage keeping this soap making sure that customers are fine with me keeping this soap for at least 2 weeks, because I want it sturdy for shipping. Now, we've talked about it a lot before. I know people like to misuse cure and say that, soaps are not safe to use for 4 weeks or whatever. That is nonsense. Soaps are safe to use 24 to 48 hours after pouring them. However, yeah, depending on the recipe, they're going to be and the soap, it's going to be very, very soft. And so you do want to give your soaps all of the time in the world to lose their water weight, so they will be the longest lasting bar of soap. And that lather can really settle into its finished, whatever. And so that can be problematic. People ordering stuff off of a website knowing that they're not going to get it for a full month. I decided to split the difference and keep the soaps with me for, I believe the actual listing says 1 to 2 weeks, just enough time for me to weigh them, to see what they are going to do. Because again, remember, I've been making these soaps forever. I know how long it's going to take to cure. These are old recipes, make sure that they're sturdy enough for shipping, and then get them to the customer so they can have them and they can continue to cure up at their house. Because why does it make sense that it should be at my facility for a full month when they can cure in any location? You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be on my shelves for that. And so, yeah, as a result, the big bulk soaps were sort of born. And so within all the product descriptions, it does specifically point out, and all the information on my policies on my website does specifically point out that these are going to be with me for 2 weeks, so you're not going to get this shipment. If you put anything else within this order, you're not getting any of that until this is ready to go. And then I ship it out again with all of the info on how to use it and how to store it and all the jazz, and none problems. Have never had any problems. I didn't know how people would respond to it, if they would be okay with waiting 2 weeks to get their order, but I have not had any problems with this whatsoever. People have loved it. Oh, that's cute. Kind of looks like a pumpkin. So yes, I am chunking this out, by the way, so we can cut this from the top down. So this is what it would look like if I cut it from, just regular. And now we're going to watch it get chunked out. But yeah, I didn't really know how people would respond to it and if they would want to essentially pre-order a soap, but everybody has loved this. They find it to be a very beneficial way to stock up on their soaps all at the same time. Then they don't have to worry about, hitting up my website every single month to get more soaps. And they have the scent that they like. All of their everything is all stocked up, and it goes wonderfully. And so, yeah, if you can work out all the finer points of it, making sure that you have crossed all of your T's and dotted all of your I's to make sure that your customer is well aware that this is a little bit different. It's a made-to-order product, and you have, the desire to do something like this. Yeah, I say do it. It's way easier to sell 12 soaps at once than it is to sell 12 soaps individually at a booth. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you would like to explore that, I highly recommend it. I thought that it was an interesting, thing to try, essentially. And if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. Like I said earlier, if something doesn't work or you don't like it, remove it from your website. And that's what I do as well. I'm not too precious when it comes to really any of the products that I make or the programs that I have going on. If it's a miss for my customers, then it's a miss for my customers. And I pivot and I continue, moving. So if you're interested in seeing how your audience would react to it, yeah, I say do it. I also say, look at that gorgeous swirl. It's so beautiful. That is so stunning. Look at that. Oh my God, I am so in love with this pour. So excited for whoever gets this. Now also to that, for the ones that I know are very, very popular, I do tend to make a reasonable backstock of some of this during the holiday months to get me through, so people are not waiting until right before Christmas to get their soaps. That only lasts me for about 3 hours after the sale drops, and so then it really is just making all of these batches one after the other, and I really do enjoy it. I like connecting with the soap. I like connecting with the sudser in some sort of weird way while I'm making the soap. And again, for the ROI, it's a lot easier to sell 12. It's a lot cooler to sell 12 soaps at once than it is to sell them, individually. So I approve 100%. And I hope that answered everybody's questions about the big bulk. Go check out the website, obviously, for information on how I structured it and how I do it. It's obviously not the proper way to do it, because I don't believe there's a proper way to do anything, to sell soaps, to, market soaps, whatever. But it can give you some inspiration for yours if you're wanting to do the big bulk as well. And the customers have, again, really responded very well to it. I don't know about your customer base. Your customer base and my customer base might be totally different, but they might not be. And you know what people do love? They love deals. And so something like this is a deal. And I feel very good about it, knowing that my customers are getting deals and I'm not losing money on it. It is cheaper than what it's not as much money as I would like to be making ultimately with all of, the soaps that go out generally. But again, this is something that the OG sudsers have really responded to and really love doing. And so for that reason, I'm okay getting less of a profit from them. As long as my time is paid for, I'm cool. But that might not be your journey. That might not be how you feel about it all. And that's totally fine. I never really said that I was good at business. I just said that I do business. And for me, this is great. I love it. And those soaps are really very beautiful. I am so excited for the sudser that gets these. I hope they are seeing this. And there it is, my 2 cents on a frequently asked Q regarding bulk soaps in general, but also kind of wholesale too, and the benefits of doing soap in larger form for your customers, both for you and for them, as well as the consequences. And so there's pros and cons, and ultimately these are all decisions that you make for your own business and what works for you. For my part, at first it was a little bit scary because I'm like, I don't know if I want to be kind of dipping my toe into something that feels a lot like wholesale but really exactly isn't, because it's still a retail product. But once I had figured that all out in my head and I put in my terms of what this is, when you buy this order, when you buy this loaf on your order, yeah, it all fell into place. And ultimately, I like doing it. There's a huge benefit for me for a number of reasons, which I detailed in the video. So there may be those benefits for you as well. There might not be. There's no right way to price your soap, to sell your soap, to market your soap, to do anything, really. It's all going to be what you feel is best for you. So there you go. That's just kind of my opinion on my experience with it since I've included this, since I started doing this within my line. And I didn't do this for a number of years. I was focusing just strictly on wholesale and retail and no really kind of middle ground merch. So I hope you guys thought that this was entertaining or informative or something today. I hope you guys are having an amazing December 7th. I hope my sudsers are doing well and getting through all of their events and all of their things and staying healthy and happy, taking care of that self-care, For those of you who are not sudsers, obviously self-care too. Like, that's just a blanket statement. I want everybody to take care of themselves. The holiday season can be a lot, But I'm out of here. Again, I hope you had fun. Sudsers, I love you. I'm going to go. Feels like I had something else to say, but I can't get there. Oh, new Project Soapway announcement is dropping in 2 days. So look out for that in the members only section. I'm going to go. I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of 31 Days of Soapmas. Soapy fun. Bye.